B.
Yo, this is Raz B calling for K Chiba.
What up, Raz B, man? I appreciate you calling in again, man.
Hey, man, I got to do it, man. You got to do it.
Hey, I appreciate you taking your time out. You's a cool cat, man. What I like to do is I like to call this kicking the actual factuals when I get to talk to people such as yourself. So we're going to go ahead and kick the actual factuals, you dig?
Hey, man, let's kick the actual factuals, bro. Let's go.
Word up. So let's just start from the get-go. If people, they got to be silly if they don't know, but I got to do this. If people don't know who you are, go ahead and tell them who you are and what you do, sir.
Yo, what's up, Colorado Springs? You know what I'm saying? This is your boy Raz B from the legendary group B2K, man. I've been doing this about 20 years now, you know. Started as a young buck, you know, had a dream, and through all the hard work and dedication, man, I was able to get a deal. You know what I'm saying? With my fellas, yo, we formed a group called B2K, and the rest is history.
That is fresh to death. I appreciate you taking your time out. So, dealing with B2K, can you share one of your most favorite experiences with the group?
Man, one of my most favorite memories and experience with the group, it would have to be just the overall experience in itself, because what happens is when you're actually living your dream, you kind of forget that you're in your dream. You kind of forget the childlike faith that you had when you was a kid. So I would just say the overall experience was phenomenal. I still, I still sit back some days and I sit back like, wow, we've accomplished so much, and we had such a positive impact. You know, we wanted to make music that the whole family can listen to, you know, where you didn't have to send the kids out the room. So all of our music has always been very clean, very family oriented. And, but just a few highlights, I would definitely have to say, 2003 BT Awards. That was truly phenomenal for us. We actually we performed, and that was the last time Michael Jackson graced the BET stages. So I kept seeing Michael at these different award shows, and I was like, man, next time I see Michael Jackson, we're talking about. I said, next time I see Michael Jackson at an award show, I'm leaving my seat and I'm going to meet Michael Jackson. So that's exactly what I did. I left my seat. You know, when he came out, ran to stage right. Steve Harvey was standing right there. It was so cool. And he literally grabbed Michael when he came on stage, like by the neck, and kind of like swung him right there in front of me, bro. So that was like one moment I would cherish forever. But just the camaraderie of brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? Being in the group, learning that, two are better than one. You know what I'm saying? Individually, we're strong, but collectively we're greater. You know what I mean? So I could go on for days, man. I could go on for days, but the experience was phenomenal, brother.
Dope. Do you think your
phenomenal.
You think your musical style has changed since your days with B2K?
Do I think my musical talent, I would definitely say it's evolved. You know, that's why we're here. You know, I'm excited about the Raz B Evolution project because being in the business at such a young age, you grow to at a level you grow to a level of enlightenment, and you realize the platform that you've been given. So it's so important for me to continue to keep the same positive message that I've always had. You know what I'm saying? Because the gospel is the good news. You know what I mean? I like to keep my music a little edgy, but at the same time, it's about having that positive message. And then I would say that the fact that I lived in China for about 7 years, that really allowed for me to look at life a lot differently. You know, because being in China, you have 5,000 years history, right? So I got a chance to really, dig deep into into the Chinese roots, but most importantly, I got more interested into the European sound and more introduced it into to the Latin music. So I just wanted to combine different flavors on this upcoming project that I've been working on for the past 5 years. Just wanted to take my time, and I also want to touch on more serious topics. Like the record I put out recently is called Guidance. This record is called Guidance. It's a chance for me to be vulnerable, for me to address the elephants in the room, for me to face, it's like me looking at the man in the mirror, you know what I mean? And on Guidance is it's a message me singing to God, you know what I mean? Essentially, it's a message about love, and it's just pure vulnerability where I'm just talking about my life and my testimony. And I feel like being in the business for such a long time, for people that don't know who I am, or they may read about the blogs, or they may see me in the tabloids, this is a chance for me to speak in my own words.
Word. Like you're growing, you're evolving, like you said. I hear you mention Michael earlier, and you just said Man in the Mirror, one of my favorites ever. You know what I'm saying? I kind of, even though I'm in radio, he inspired me to be who I am today, kind of, sort of in the long run. What inspired you? Who inspired you to pursue a solo career after the group's success?
That's a huge question. Who inspired me to pursue a solo career after the group's success? Well, I never really wanted to be a solo artist, but I realized when I was in China and I was touring over there for 7 years, obviously you want to continue to put food on the table and use your God-given talents. It was, I found myself developing the confidence being over there by myself and being like the front, the front lead man. And it was like, it gave me the strength to say, you know what? I can do this on my own. Not taking anything away from the group, but just because the group decided to, as we grew and we went into grew into different directions in our life, it just the passion for making music and just like I said earlier, just being able to have the platform to be able to speak to the masses. You know what I mean? Because whether you know it or not, you're a role model. You know what I mean? And when you struggle, God will use you more. So I just want to continue to be mindful that I love music, and I had to get back to what got me started, which was the passion and love. Because what happens in this, when you have success, you can kind of get away from the things that put you there. So it was like, it was a grounding experience for me. Like I said earlier, being back in China, it was a time for me it was like my wilderness experience, time for me to grow. And I was like, you know what? I want to come back to America, and I want to first and foremost, it took me about 16 years, but I want to put B2K back together, because, I felt like when the group B2K broke up, we had unfinished business, right? So what I did, I actually learned this from Michael. He asked me, one of the first questions Michael Jackson asked me, he was like, who owns the name B2K? And I was pondering on that. And I'm like, why the hell did he ask me that question? 5 years later, I actually purchased the B2K trademark for me and the fellas, which was pretty cool because I was able to prepare a place for us. And it was also the noble thing to do as well, right? You know what I mean? Because we built this, and it was just sitting there. And I was able to find a promoter who put up $3 million, and that tour actually turned into $28 million. So that was like truly like,
that's a win.
Being able to, it's definitely a win. But most importantly, all the people and all the broken hearts that didn't understand why we had broken up. For us as kids, we didn't understand why we had broken up. But it just really inspired me to keep going because it's bigger than just music. You know what I mean? Like, kind of ties into why I'm coming to Colorado because I know there's a lot of artists, and it's not to take from any one of the artists, but you have to grow on your own. I typically like to say that some artists don't know their brand market value, and a lot of artists may just come into the city, do their concert and leave. But I feel like it's really, it takes a village to raise a child. So in order to really garner the support that you need and that you want in order to continue to fulfill your purpose here on earth, it was important to lock in. And I don't want to say smaller markets, but it was really important to lock in when you come into the city. Find out who's who. Find out what's going on in the community. How can you be involved? You know what I'm saying? How can you add value to the city versus just coming to the city and taking from the city? Dope.
And you got a lot of supporters out here. I know when you guys were on tour, we had tickets, which is crazy. Like it was like a Kevin Bacon type thing. Like I was giving away tickets for you guys. And the phones, every time I did a giveaway, it went crazy for you. And now that I'm thinking too, I've interviewed another one. I've interviewed two out of B2K right now. I've interviewed Fez and yourself. Now that I think about it, I interviewed him a long time ago. He was on my I do a show. I used to do a show. So I got another podcast, which I'm going to put this on my other BoxState brother. He's not here right now. We call it the BoxState MicDrop podcast, where we do local artists and all this good stuff. I'm going to have to link with you about that too. We're going to do some cool stuff with that, but he was on one of the shows earlier a long time ago. So that's cool. I just now thought about
man. Hey, man. Hey. 2 down, 2 more to go. We can make that happen too.
Oh, word.
You know what I mean?
Word.
2 down, 2 to go, man. You know what I'm saying? But just real briefly, I'm new to this space, but I started a foundation called B2K Cares, and it's really about engaging and using my artistic, expression and all the tools that I've learned, to really use my platform to really help push the youth forward. You know what I'm saying? Using entertainment as an artistic expression. You know what I mean? So I'm looking to connect with all the non-for-profits out in Colorado. You know what I'm saying, in the Springs, you know what I'm saying, to continue to grow and use this platform, man, because it's like, each one teach one, you know what I'm saying? We always got to continue to pay it forward because I know what music done for me. I know what, going to perform in our schools done for me. It took me out of the ghetto. It gave me something positive to focus my mind on.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I mean? And now there's so many distractions with TV and, the music that's being played. So I just want to continue to stay on the path that I've been on, man.
That is fresh to
spreading positivity and love.
You every time you say something, it makes me want to go into other questions. But I got a whole list that I want to go through. But every time you say something, it makes me want to go off into something. I got something.
We kill it.
No, I got something. I got something real fresh for you. I think that would be super dope for that B2K Cares type thing. Me and my guys, we do a thing called Beats, Eats, and Sneaks. But I'll talk to you about that later on. Because we were talking earlier, and you kind of led into a question that I wanted to get into, but we moved away from it. It was in so many words you already told me, but one of my next questions was, what particular artists or genres influenced you for this album? But you kind of talked about that already, where you were across seas and you heard these different sounds, and you came up.
Yeah, no, you're right. I did kind of because when you ask questions, my brain just starts thinking about so many different things. So I've seen a lot and experienced a lot at such a young age. But, I would say Sam Cooke, obviously Michael Jackson, James Brown, Sade, Celine Dion. One of my favorite artists right now is The Weeknd. I mean, salute to, all the true musicians, Prince out there, you know what I mean? And,
nice.
And I love people that harness their craft, you know what I mean? It's like, if you would like to have longevity in business, there's so many things that you need to encompass and you need to learn in order to elevate your brand, you know what I mean? So those are some of the artists, just to name a few. Boyz II Men, New Edition. I mean, the list can goes on. But I'm just a fan and a student of music in itself. So I'm just I'm overwhelmed when it comes to listening to music, bro. I mean, Phil Collins, you know what I mean? Queen. I mean, you know what I mean? I love me some Queen.
My phone is full of all type of music too. Like, people will be like, I didn't know you listened to that. Yeah, man, I listen to everything. Like, I got Billy Idol, Billy Joel, all type of stuff in my phone. It's crazy.
Hey, don't get me started. I got Dixie Chicks, man. I got Martina McBride.
yeah.
I listen.
So to me, kind of, sort of, I think it might be self-explanatory, but I'm just going to ask anyway. What's the story that your project or your latest album is telling?
That's a good question. What is the story that my latest project is telling? I would definitely say it's like a journey from a boy to a king. You know what I mean? Showing the evolution, because as a young boy, you grow up trying to figure things out. But when you learn to master the mind, when you learn the skills of discipline, you're able to, essentially create your heaven here on earth. Mm-hmm. It's like keeping your thoughts under the captivity of Christ. So in order to control your kingdom, to become a king, it really starts with the way that you eat, the way that you think. And a lot of those things really help
kick that science,
influence
man.
my writing on this track.
Yeah.
Yep, you know what I mean? Because the project's about love. It's about redemption. It's about forgiveness. It's about betrayal. It's all of those different things that we face in life that essentially could be can hinder us from our growth. So I just want to be vulnerable on this project. And then also there's a few tracks on there like Drip on Me, you know what I mean? Because I'm still young and I'm edgy and I want to have fun, but I definitely want to make sure I put out a message, about love. Because I don't, not to take away from many artists, but I don't condone talking about, selling drugs or disrespecting our women, calling them out of their name. Women are the procreation of life. Their womb represents God's universe. So it's like, staying in my own lane. I'm not trying to shake up the, shake up the tree. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to stay in my own lane and stay out the way, you know what I'm saying? But I feel I can add to the culture by doing my part.
Dope. Is there a difference between writing music in a group and to writing for yourself?
I would definitely say there's a big difference between.
I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, but I would. I'm agreeing with you. I would definitely say that it's a big difference from writing in a group and writing solo.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the foundation and the essence and the fundamentals that B2K carried from being able to write music that the whole world and the whole family can listen to. That was that was approvable by parents. I would just say now that I'm a lot older. Because on our very first album, I think we probably wrote maybe 1 or 2 tracks, and then our second album we wrote 10, right? So, and I was probably like around 18 then, and now it's more. I have more wisdom and understanding of life, so I would say it's a lot different because I'm talking about real experiences that I've actually walked through. Some of those experiences, like I would look back and we had a song called "Gots to Be," and I'm like, the song was like, "I want to be your mother, your brother, and your father and your sister too," like that. That record right there was just crazy because that's a lot for a 16-year-old to be talking about, but it was mature. Yet we were still young enough, so we were able to captivate both audiences. But once again, that record was talking about love. And shout out to Steve Russell from the group True, who wrote that record for us, and the Underdogs who produced it.
Love True. That's crazy. Now that you say that out loud, like you never would think about that, like. Because it was a hit back in the day, everybody listened to it, we all sang it. But it was like you kind of said, it's a heavy song for some young cats to be singing, and we didn't, we was just still trying to, use the lines to holler at girls, listen to songs, dance with them and stuff. We, you know what I'm saying? We really wasn't even paying attention to it. But now that you say it in hindsight like that, I like how you broke that down. That's fresh to death.
Big facts, man.
What do you enjoy most about connecting with your fans through your music?
I don't call them fans. I call them supporters of my brothers and sisters in Christ. What I love most about it because,
nice.
I think it's so cool when someone walks up to me and like a lot of times the first thing they say is like, "Oh my God," that lets me know right there, God gets all the glory. You know what I'm saying? And at that moment, they're probably experiencing that energy, that love, that joy, that passion that I come with, because I come with a lot of love. You know what I mean? I represent love. I love the Lord. And I think it's so important not to ruin that person's moment. I could be having a bad day some days and I'll meet someone and they'll inspire me. They'll walk up to me and they'll just be like, "Hey bro, I love what you stand for. I grew up on your music." And like, it's really humbling because, you don't really realize the impact you have. And I didn't really realize the impact that B2K had, or the movie You Got Served had, or when you're walking through life and your trials and tribulations and you being strong, you never know how that's inspiring to someone or what this record has done to someone. Most recently, the record that I made, Guidance, a lot of people, called me and they's like, "Bro, this record right here, like I was crying listening to this record. Like this record really like lifted my spirit and really ministered to my soul when I was listening to it." So, I mean, for me, that's doing the work. You know what I mean? If you can touch one, man, I mean, it's a great feeling, bro, to be a part of that experience with being able to inspire someone, you know what I mean, or being able to, take them from a negative thought process to a positive thought process, you know what I mean, really by raising their frequency. Because sometimes, when you're at your highest, you're really at your lowest, and when you're at your lowest, you're really at your highest. So it's so important to surround yourself around really awesome people, you know what I'm saying, for real.
Some of the words you say, you sound like, you sound real wise, man. You sound like a prophet or something. Like I'm talking to a young prophet right now. And it motivating. And what's super dope is, if you think about it too, you're young, but you've been in the game for a long time and you still talk about it with the passion and a love for it. So that's super dope as well. You know what I mean?
No, it's about surrounding yourself around wise people. Those that surround, those that hang with wise, they become wise. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to Tony, shout out to Ahmad. I mean, these brothers really embraced me with open arms, and they really understood what the vision was and what we wanted to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? And we're starting here in the Springs, right? We really wanted to, start in a nice, beautiful city that stands for and has a lot of integrity. That's 501c driven. You know what I mean? That will really understand what it is that we're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? It's not how you start, but it's about how you finish. And the evolution of Raz B is being able to grow into the man that I was put on this earth to be. So I thank you for that compliment. I just thank you for the people, and I thank you for embracing me and allowing me to have this opportunity.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you. I got a couple more questions for you. This is just part one of Kicking the Actual Factuals. You're going to be out here for the Millennium Day party. And then once you get in studio, I got some more questions for you because my mind is going and I'm writing down questions right now as we're speaking.
I love it. I love it.
Are there any collaborations that you're excited about that you want to do, or who do you want to work with?
Man, I have a list of artists that I would love to work with. To answer that question, I would, The Weeknd would be phenomenal. That would be great if I had the opportunity to work with The Weeknd. Some of the collaborations that I actually worked with on this experience, I worked with Ray J, I worked with Frankie J and Paul Wall, I worked with the Yin Yang Twins. I'm not sure if these. I'm not sure these songs are gonna actually make the album. Yeah, they're my guys, man.
That's fresh to death. Like I would say I don't know you. I would say, but we haven't met in person and all that good stuff. But those cats though, Frankie J, the Yin Yang Twins, I know them like on a cool, like I've seen them, met them, hung out with them a few times. So that's dope, man.
Great people.
Yep, and you know what? Great people hang with great people because I'm talking to you. We've spoke before. You're gonna come out, hang out. So you know what I'm saying? It was meant to be.
Big facts. I would say, and I love the organic collaborations. Typically there's a lot of management, politics that be involved of making records. Yep. But it wasn't the case with these. These are like my friends. Shout out to Cassidy. I did a record with him as well. These just relationships that I built over the years, and we finally was able to come into the space where we were able to curate and make some great music together. You know what I mean? And the record, Frankie J and Paul Wall is out right now. It's called With You, and the record with Cassidy is called NDA. So I want everybody to check that one out. And the one with Ray J is called We Grown. He actually did the remix to the song called We Grown. I think I'm gonna put it on the album. I got so many records, so I'm like really trying to narrow it down. So just a little sneak peek into this experience. I'm actually gonna take the time to play the record for the first time for everybody that's attending the event. So because I want to get that feedback, I need to get that. I need to know what records gravitate to the people the most. You know what I'm saying? And, that way I'm not just being biased and putting together a sequence of songs that not just being selfish to me, but I want to make that. I want to make sure that the people are really feeling them. So I'm looking forward to playing my music for everybody. And I told Tony, I was like, bro, I think I'm gonna hit the stage. He's like, you gonna hit the stage? I'm like, bro, I'm gonna hit the stage, bro. Like I want to give the people a little experience of what Raz B brings as a solo artist. You know what I'm saying, and what I stand for. So I'm definitely going to hit the stage. And I'm encouraging everybody out there to come out and enjoy the experience. I mean, this is going to be a nice, great experience for everybody to come out, meet and greet me so we can network and politic, and we can figure out how I can be active in the community and how I can add value to the city, most importantly. So I'm looking forward to it coming in the studio. I'm looking forward. Yo, bro, these questions is phenomenal.
Yo, right? Man, I got a whole bunch more, but you know what? Just right there, I'm just gonna end it right there because you ended it perfect, talking about coming out for the day party, how you want to get with the community. You tied that off without me asking for it. So dope. Was it? I still got some more questions for you. Don't worry. So you're gonna be in studio. We'll get a part 2 going. Was there anything that I didn't ask you today that you want me to get across to the people for part 1?
No, I think we covered so many things. I mean, I can't wait to get in the studio with you because, I mean, this is just like a conversation. You know what I mean? You're getting to know me more, and then most importantly, the people are getting it to hear it from the horse's mouth. You know what I mean? You can't believe everything that you see or read or hear about, you know what I'm saying? But life, like my mom has always taught me, life is in session. And I'm vulnerable. My life is open book. So, when you struggle, God will use you more. And, God has continued to transform me into being even a greater person and a greater human being to understand the platform and the power that I have. So I want to use it the correct way.
Speak that, Raz, man. I appreciate you calling in today, man.
Let's go!
Hey, man.
Yo, Colorado, it's your boy Raz B. We coming to the city to take over, baby. Let's go!
Yeah. Love it. Like that. Hey, I appreciate your time, man. Save my number, man. I just got promoted to program director over here, so you know what I'm saying.
What?
If there's anything that we can do on, if there's anything that we can do on my side to help you out, man, let's get it in. I got a whole bunch of projects that Like I was telling you for B2K Cares that we can get you involved in. We just started some things,
please.
so I'm a add. I don't even know why I'm saying this. I'm gonna add you on Instagram right now, like I should have been following you before. But I'm gonna add you on both of our sites so you can check out what we're doing. So then you have a little bit of idea what we get involved in here in a few minutes.
Hey, so to all the artists that's listening right now, when he said he's the program director, he's the PD. That means this is the guy that programs your song into the station. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm trying to get added to the station, man. Hopefully, I can get some spins on that new Guidance record up there. You know what I'm saying? The people to hear it.
Hey, man, don't worry about it. We got you around here. You dig?
I appreciate you, King. I appreciate you, man. I can't thank you enough for this opportunity, man. Shout out to the people and everybody that's listening, man. Man, God be the glory, man. Shout out to my team, Tony and Ahmad, everybody out there that made this opportunity possible for me. And I see you soon, man. Part 2 coming up in studio, baby. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Raz B, kicking the actual factuals. I appreciate you, man. We're going to holler.
Man, my God. Appreciate that. Peace.
What?